In this session, we're going to be hearing some very important updates around two of Rakuten Symphony's most important products and services within the OSS business unit. To give these updates, it's my great pleasure to welcome four speakers. Firstly, who'll be getting us underway, Faiq Khan, the SVP of Sales for the OSS BU. He'll be followed by Anshul Bhatt, the Head of Sales for Americas for the OSS BU. We'll then hear from Sandeep Karkala, the CTO of the OSS BU, and last but not least, Faisal Ghazali, the Global Head of Pre-Sales for OSS. Without further ado, ladies and gents, please welcome Faiq Khan, the SVP of Sales for OSS for Rakuten Symphony.
Hello. Yeah, it works. So guys, a really exciting day one for Mobile Congress, an exciting launch for Rakuten Symphony OSS products and briefing. Really a proud moment that, in Rakuten Symphony OSS, we take a lot of pride. The complete virtualized stack, which we have been able to build in our Rakuten mobile journey, which, it's a testament of our success and the difference we have been making in the industry. And that journey, well, you hear a lot about AI and automation by everybody today in the industry. We have been doing this for 5 years. Now we have been taking it to the next level, that our AI platform is really the core and in the center of everything, where we are optimizing, automating a lot of challenges of the current telco worlds, where everything is extremely fragmented, lots of complex technologies, and everybody wants to automate, and how do we go in that journey? So we will talk, the teams are going to go in the details. In this complex environment, if you talk about it, it's all about how do we either automate or monetize. So our apps, our agentic AI approach is completely in that sense, that how we will be able to give playbooks that will help the current telcos to monetize, or completely solving their problems, so we keep doing automation. Now, we divide our portfolio into two major areas. If you are in a network lifecycle, where you are doing any type of site build, so anything to do with your site build lifecycle, our Site Manager product suite will be able to completely cover anything to do in that digital workflow automation, planning, optimization around that day zero, day one life of the network. And if you go into day one and day two, all your operational challenges, whether they are from a observability layer perspective, if they are from an RF perspective, that's where we will go into the details of RIO, or Rakuten Intelligent Operations. So without any further delay, I'll request our next presenter, Anshul Bhatt, to come and give you further details of the Site Manager.
Thanks, Faiq. Hey everyone, Anshul this side. So I'm here to talk about our Site Manager 2.0 product that we are launching today. So of course, we all had a good session on Site Manager 1.0 last year in last MWC with AT&T and a few other customers that we are trusted with this product. So total in Site Manager 1.0 journey, we have deployed around 3.5 million sites globally across all these partners and customers. And the difference between 1.0 and 2.0 version is mainly twofold. One is the AI capability that we are bringing in. So obviously, AI, we are seeing a lot of revolution in AI in terms of software world. But when it comes to site management, site development, field force management, what AI can do is what Site Manager 2.0 is all about. And apart from just the AIization of the product itself, also in the 2.0 version, we are diversifying ourselves beyond telecom. So when we say site management, it's not just about telecom site management. Site management is basically any location with a latitude or longitude. So be it a real estate site management, it could be EV charging stations, it could be any media or utility related site development. So that's what Site Manager 2.0 is about. We had a good journey with telecom vertical. We hardened, strengthened with more than 3 million sites. Now 2.0 is all about bringing more efficiency, compliance, productivity using AI, as well as diversifying ourselves across industries beyond telco. So that's what Site Manager 2.0 is all about. So yeah, these are some of the key innovations or features, if you will, when it comes to Site Manager 2.0. So a lot of site management activity comprises of multiple phases, right from site planning to getting the regulatory permitting and stuff. And once the site development is in process, then it's all about getting the site on air with the right acceptance tests and everything on time. So Site Manager 2.0 helps us to automate a lot of these phases in this life cycle. So I'll just go through some of the key use cases that we got for telecom as well as non-telecom enterprises. So starting from top, how we digitalize RF planning itself. So connecting or having a more data-driven approach to planning is what digital RF planning is all about. Apart from just planning, we also digitalize the entire site build-out diagrams. So imagine having RF data sheets that are hand-drawn or Excel-based diagrams. We import them using our LLM-based parsers, and then we create a digital plumbing diagram out of it. So you don't have to, or these kind of diagrams don't have to live in anyone's desktop or in their laptops. It's basically available on cloud in a completely digital format. So that's what RFDS and digital planning is all about. Then we do the site acceptance, which usually takes more than a week for a site to get accepted because of the field activity involved, the drive testing itself, and then the post-processing. But using our auto ATP, we are able to do this in 40 minutes. So that's what the auto ATPs are all about. And then we do the data-driven asset management and logistics. So we'll get into that. And other than the telecom use cases, we are expanding or extending this framework into a common domain agnostic OneGIS layer where one could do analytics. So for example, in Rakuten Mobile in Japan, we are using this platform to figure out where should we deploy our shops. So because in order to reach out to our customers, we need to have retail outlets to sell mobile SIMs. But where should those outlets be opened is what we do using the OneGIS framework under the location analysis framework. Similarly, we have chatbot, intelligent site audits, and AI-based documentation and things like that, which I'll quickly go into to give you a brief. And of course, feel free to reach out to us afterwards into our booth, into our, we are happy to go and run down through some of these modules in detail. So I think these are some of the use cases I talked about where we are automating them using AI for site management itself, starting from digital planning, automatic drive testing, data-driven site densification, where we are using not only the traditional or conventional RF simulation models, but also using a lot of data to decide where to deploy sites and where to plan sites. Similarly, the digitalization of plumbing diagram is something that I was talking about earlier, that any network that has to go through an upgrade or a rollout, they need to update these diagrams. And typically this activity happens manually, where a person would go and fix these drawings with the new antennas or the new equipments. But now, using our AI-based, we call it digital RFDS. Basically, we take the hand-drawn drawings and then just change them into a digital format so that it could be added. Equipments could be modified by just natural language or even by simple drag and drop. So these are some of the use cases on the enterprise side as well, where we have created some decision trees, workflow-based infrastructure build, and GIS-based location analysis. So anything with a latitude or longitude, basically, be it a data center, be it a radio site, be it a media hoarding, be it a utility pole, be it an EV charging point, anything or everything can be deployed and managed through the Site Manager 2.0. And lastly, I wanted to just touch upon some of the AI-based, LLM-based use cases on field force management. So we do have a chatbot that the field engineers can talk to in terms of asking a query, performing a task, etc. But also AI does intelligent site audit, whereby if a field engineer is taking a photograph on site, which typically gets approved by a human sitting somewhere in the office, but in Site Manager 2.0, AI will do the audit of the photographs and will tell then and there if the given site is compliant or the photograph taken is meeting the standards. So that's what we do or mean by intelligent site audit. And lastly, AI-based OCR is basically our documentation powered by LLM. Basically, what we do there is any document you upload, it doesn't have to be in a given format. You upload the document and AI will read through it and it will automatically fill the forms, saving like almost 30 to 40 minutes per site per task, amounting to 20% efficiency in the overall rollout program that goes on where a lot of manual data entry has to be done. So AI-based OCR is also something that we have started to roll out in our 2.0. So yeah, I think that's it from the Site Manager 2.0 perspective. I'll hand it over to Faisal and team to take us through the next journey where we are launching RIO, Intelligent Operations 2.0. Over to you, Faisal.
Thank you. Thank you, Anshul. So today I'm gonna walk you through the very exciting innovation we are releasing, which is RIO. RIO is the Rakuten Intelligent Operations, and we take a lot of pride solving one of the biggest problems in the industry, which is how to get to operations. And let me take a moment to remind you about the importance of automation. Automation now is a trend where the entire market is looking for it. And the main reason for that is to improve the efficiency. And that is basically achieved by decoupling the team and the size of the operation teams from the size of the network. And once we have established this decoupling, we will have a very focused and talented team focused on improving those algorithms and logics which leave the machine to take care of the network, and then we can scale up and the team will remain efficient and focused, and that success can be replicated somewhere else. Now, what are those challenges which prevents a lot of operations to get to that level of automation? These are the challenges which have been there for some time. I don't think anything is a secret. The market knows this very well. The operation knows this very well. The secret lies in how to solve that. And that is what Rakuten is delivering today to the market. So the first thing is, today we come from a background where we have multi-vendors in different domains: performance vendors, fault vendors, configuration management vendors, inventory management vendors. And I agree it's very difficult for a brownfield to move away from that in an overnight. It takes you to have a strategy. And it takes you also to evolve your business processes as well as organization. So the real transformation will have 3 legs, and the systems and the platform is one of them. And Rakuten is basically have done it, achieved it. And today, for example, in RMI, we are operating at automation level 3.5, and that is the biggest proof point of what we do. So we will go from this challenge to another challenge, that we are bringing a lot of innovation in the telco domain. And one of that is the Open RAN. It's a great thing to the industry. However, of course, that comes with its own complications, the cloudification and O-RAN. Then from there, we go to legacy OSS, what we have there, legacy even in terms of architecture, which doesn't allow for the horizontal scalability in an easier way. And that adds up to the problem, which prevents us to go to the AI and so on. So we took a different approach towards that by thinking about eliminating this completely and come with something new that, of course, requires you, as I said, to have a strategy of slight and gradual changes from the as-is state to the to-be. So we have a foundational approach for a unified network operations, where you will see that RIO comes with a modular applications, foundational for the data, and then on top of it sits all our applications one-on-one. And of course, you can adopt that as you progress in this strategy until you reach to where you want to be. We are enabling the data monetization through that, efficient data consolidation and AI-driven insights. And by the way, AI can only be possible when you have all the data in a centralized place. That's very known, and that's what we are helping you to achieve. And then future-proofing telecom networks with that AI and automation. And then at the end, you will reach to the state where you want to be in terms of automating. In order to achieve that, we have basically worked on our foundational, let's say, intelligent network operation from a real-time observability for our multi-domain core RAN transmission. We have powered that with our AI engine, which sits on top of our Rakuten data and AI platform. We have brought in the end-to-end service orchestrator and the multi-vendor support, which has opened up the ability to run our R app, X app in a very, let's say, open environment where we innovate also and invite others to innovate with us on our RIC platform. And eventually, to achieve that, we had to do the digital twinning, so we understand this network properly and we understand what if analysis before we go for the changes. With that, I'll leave the floor to my colleague, Mr. Sandeep Krakala, please.
Thank you, Faisal. With our 1.0 release of Rakuten Intelligent Operations, we pretty much kind of addressed end-to-end use cases and functions within the telecom operations, starting from planning, building, operating, and assuring the network. With 2.0, what we're trying to achieve is basically unifying these operations for the network and operations to be AI ready and to be able to deliver AI at the desired cost, right? And for the AI to be, provide a ROI that makes sense for the operators. When we talk about unification, it's more about how the data flows through the system. And we know that, vertically siloed applications, that's how, operators have been managing network operations within the OSS. Different functions comes from different vendors, and data moves through the systems, in multiple different ways, with pretty expensive integrations and And that costs. I mean, these are not the systems and integrations that will help us achieve AI at the efficiency that we need and that AI needs, right? So fundamentally, there are a few things that we are trying to achieve here. In terms of unification, we are establishing a foundation which allows the operators to kind of integrate with the end-to-end network. And I'll come to that, why that is important. And ingest data from every part of the network and all necessary data streams, right? And do that efficiently, not through multiple systems and multiple hops, in multiple ways. That increases the cost of moving the data from one place to the other. So the system is able to ingest data from the network and directly from the sources, and using AI, and do that efficiently, right? And do that with the minimal data that is necessary, not more than that, to be able to do that. And when we want to do that, and we're talking about unification, we're not talking about locking in the technology or those integrations. And Rio provides that integration framework that's open and pluggable. And the control and the operators and the end users have full control on how these integrations happen. And we're building this foundation. We want to ensure that, and for the benefit of AI, for the future of AI, you're able to ingest data from any system. It need not be the network itself. Wherever the data sits in the operator's environment, that is related to the network and the users of the network. And this is quite essential for the AI systems, right? And at the end of the day, when data is processed and insights are generated, and Rio provides a way to consistently and simply access the data using various data streams, using APIs, and also, when we talk about AI future, using multimodal interfaces, right? And I'll come to that, why this is the future and why this would happen, and how this foundation basically enables operators to achieve that efficiently, right? So at the end of the day, for the operators as of today, one of the significant problems that they face is that they go through these multi-vendor ecosystems where different functions of network operations are pieced together. It's a patchwork of systems at the end of the day. And they go through these costly integrations. One of the downsides of that is, operators are not able to adopt technology as efficiently and as rapidly as possible, right? Telecom is further behind. That's not helping them leverage current day technology to innovate and monetize their network. So that's one of the key things in terms of how we assemble our technology stack, how we bring solutions together, and how we help operators to kind of stay current with the technology and software stacks that are available in the industry. So how we engage open source software, how we externalize these software for operators to kind of easily plug into the latest and the greatest available is one of the key approaches that we have within the Rio architecture, right? Nothing is locked in. And that is the reason we call it an unified framework or a foundation for OSS, the future of OSS. So at the end of the day, again, Rio provides all the necessary functions that operators are familiar with today. In terms of how they manage the network, manage their operations. It's not a fundamental shift or a rip and replace system that's the operators will have to spend a lot of time in terms of understanding and then planning their operations. So this has to, this is a gradual shift in terms of how the network operations are conducted in the future, right? So it has everything that operators are familiar with. It has everything that operators today are used to. At the same time, it provides the tools for them to slowly adopt new technology, such as AI-enabled. So we all know that OSS is adopting AI, and OSS operations are going to be AI first in the near future. But how do we get there? I mean, if OSS is kind of put together the way it is today, and that future is not going to be anywhere near, or that future is not going to be achieved at the ROI that makes sense, that is practical. So this is the reason why data has to come together, and data has to come together at, with minimal data movement, right? And we need to ensure that we don't end up storing a lot of data because this all adds up to the cost. And the second point is that we want to ensure that for AI operations to be useful and meaningful for the end user, to deliver the desired intent, AI systems should be able to see the end-to-end network. This is where it is, Rio as a foundation helps the operators to plug in and create a true digital twin, a real-time digital twin of the network, ingest data from different parts of the network, and make that accessible in an efficient way for running AI and agentic functions. And that's the key thing here. If you're not able to do that, if OSS does not have an end-to-end network view, end-to-end network insight, any AI use cases or functions that you run will not be as efficient. And to an AI and agentic future, it is not one hop. So Rio ensures that, as I said, Rio ensures that it provides the current and legacy familiarity for the operators. At the same time, it provides the tools and frameworks and capability for operators to adopt AI and move to a AI and agentic future. And as I said, I mean, this is why Rio is different, and all the points that I talked about, right? It avoids vertical silos, fragmented OSS functions, vendor lock-in, manual inefficiencies, and legacy processes, right? It helps operators break away from that and make the architecture and technology future ready. This is what it means to be future ready. The technology stacks or the architecture is not static or fixed. It helps operators to adopt. It helps operators to leverage open source solutions that are out there. It is microservices based. It is cloud agnostic. So there is no, it's not a monolith. When we say it's unified, it's not a monolith. It is still distributed. It's still agile. It's still open. At the same time, it's able to then adopt managed services on any hypervisor environment you run this software, right? And the key benefits, of course, is like, as I said, from an operator standpoint, it is like one investment for the end-to-end network. You're not building an SMO that just manages or optimizes your RAN, and that's going to be just part of your network. Then you don't know if RAN is affected by something else in the transport or your core network or your cloud infrastructure or the environment. Then you're not able to really see the impact of these failures on your RAN and other KPIs. So it's important to have that end-to-end view. So it is beyond SMO. So it's one investment where you're expanding your capabilities and functions to your end-to-end network. It's not just something limited to RAN or one domain or one technology, right? And of course, multi-vendor, multi-technology integrations. And this is what simplification is all about. This is what simplification is all about, right? It's not domain specific or it's not technology specific. We've simplified the architecture and how we assemble the technology stack in such a way that it can manage end-to-end network. As I said, just the integration framework, it's not just about ingesting data from your cloud or ingesting data from your RAN. You can plug in to any data source in your network to source the data in, apply AI at the ingestion time, and store data more efficiently, right? So, yeah, in Portuguese, Rio means river, right? So river represents flow, and Rio is that flow that is going to reshape telecom operations and network intelligence. So, welcome to Rakuten Intelligent Operations. Welcome to the future of telecom. Thank you all for your time. Have a great evening.